my name is Steven, and this is video number 10. Yes, video number 10 in my new series called Introduction to CodeIgniter. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to update values in a database using the database library and CodeIgniter. So let's get right started. First thing I want to do is create a new function in my site controller. Call it update values. And then I will load the model that I've been working in. This load model of get underscore db. Bad name, but who cares? And we'll go in here into the get underscore db model, create a new function, call it update 1. This will receive an array, and it works very similarly to the insert active records way. You can go this db update. Okay, so this receives 3 parameters. The first is the table that we're going to be updating. The second is the array, or the row that we'll be substituting which row we specify with the where specifier. In this case, we'll say id is equal to 2. So, if we look at our database here, the row with the ID of 2 has the value of Fred. If we refresh this, just to make sure, yes, it does. Okay, so where the ID of 2, we want to, where it has the ID of 2, we're going to replace that row with a new row that we'll be passing into this function. So we'll go back into our site controller. We will create a new array, call it new row. So it's equal to an array. And the name will be Angie. I am getting creative today, I tell ya. Okay, so now we have an array stored in this object here. We will now load that actual function from the model. So we'll go this get underscore db, and we'll go update 1. Pass it new row. Some days my typing, I tell ya. Okay, and then once it's done everything, we'll just tell it to echo it has been updated. It has been updated. All the updates. Okay, I think that should be good to go. Everything is saved, and we'll run this. Update values. And it says it's been updated, so we'll go into our MySQL database and refresh this. And sure enough, where the ID was 2, the name is now Angie, which is what we wanted. The next thing I'll show you is the second way to do it, and that is for more, when you want to update more than one field. And again, this is done by, similarly to the insert active records way, it receives a multi-dimensional array. And I'll just show you guys how it works here. Update. Yes, update underscore batch. And again, this receives 3. This receives 3 parameters. The first one is which table. Second, it will be the multi-dimensional array. And the third is which field to compare with the arrays that we're substituting in. And I'll explain more in a second. In this case, it'll just be name. So, no, ID. Yes, that's what we want. So we'll go back into our site controller. And now we're not going to be having objects, we're going to have arrays in here. So we'll go and now in this case we actually have to specify the ID and the name, so we'll do that here. ID, so where the ID is 3, the name will be Marcus. I don't even know Marcus. And we'll do it again. ID 4. Name Bill. Okay. So now it should be passing in, yes, we don't need that. So this new row multi-dimensional array is going into this update to function. Okay, we'll save that. And now I'll just explain briefly what this means. Notice how we're specifying an ID and a name. We told it to compare the ID field. So I'm trying to figure out a good way to explain this. This is basically the where value in this case. So say you had like a huge database of like 100 people, and that had to be like, say, prices. So you had a price, and say product number 2 was $3 and product number 3 was $4, and et cetera, et cetera. So you had to change all those prices. You can do it with one command here. You just specify which variable you want to change and then the actual variable that you're changing. So if we go ahead and run this, ID 3 will become Marcus and ID 4 will become Bill. We'll refresh this page and then check our database. Sure enough, ID 3 is now Marcus, ID 4 is Bill. And that's exactly what we wanted. The ID is the specifier, and the name is the value that we want to change. And that's it for updating. Thanks for watching. In the next video we'll be talking about deleting and then on to building our first website. Thanks for watching.